Everyone, I'm now calling this meeting to order. Please stand with us. We'll be led in prayer by Alderman Kelly. Please remain standing after that for the Pledge of Allegiance. That will be led by Alderman-at-Large George Payne.
Dear Father in heaven, Lord, we come to you today just asking for wisdom and guidance in all the decisions that we do for the betterment of our people. Lord, in this time of uncertainty around the world and in our own country, we just know that we've got certainty in you and your love for us and the salvation that you offer us through your Son. And it's in his name that we ask these things. In Jesus, amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
First on the agenda this evening is the approval of minutes for the September 17, 2024 meeting.
Mayor, make that motion.
Second.
We have a motion by Alderman Hoots, second by Alderman Payne. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, roll call.
Alderman Payne?
Yes.
Alderman Kelly?
Yes.
Alderman Hoots?
Yes.
Alderman Jerome?
Yes.
Alderman Wheeler?
Yes.
That motion carries. Next on our agenda is for an election consultant contract for the 2025 municipal election.
Mayor and Board, this contract is with election consultant with Chad Englick, and this will assist with the city clerk's office for the 2025 elections. The cost for the primary and general elections is $4,200 and $1,600 respectively. Need authorization for either the mayor, Andrew Mullen, to sign this contract for election consulting services, and he'll also help run the tabulation machines and provide those as well.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion by Alderman Hoots, second by Alderman Payne. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, roll call.
Alderman Payne?
Yes.
Alderman Kelly?
Yes.
Alderman Hoots?
Yes.
Alderman Jerome?
Yes.
Alderman Wheeler?
Yes.
That motion carries. Next on our agenda is a task order for the Getwell Road widening project for the tree enhancement in the medians.
Yeah, this, as the mayor noted, is the task order for the Getwell Road project. We previously entered into a master contract similar to what we've done with Urban Art with Quality Landscape. Since this is a professional service, we did the master contract. We'll do task orders. The task order is the amount of $73,540. And it's, like I said, it's governed by the master contract. So tonight I need authorization for Whitney Cook or her designee to sign the task order.
I'll make that motion. Second.
We have a motion by Alderman Wheeler, second by Alderman Kelly. Is there any discussion?
Mayor, I saw in your post that you did on social media, we are going to be very careful not to obstruct any kind of views from each side of the other.
Yeah, actually, Whitney has met with the engineers, with Dan and everyone to make sure there's a proper amount of linear distance in the curb cuts before the first tree is planted. And then also the distance between, they'll be planted symmetrically, but yeah, there'll be a certain linear distance between the curb cut before the tree is planted. The other thing is Whitney and Quality Landscape have chosen trees that don't canopy out. They grow vertically, and the purpose of that obviously is for traffic visibility. So yeah, that has been well thought out. And the weeds will be cut too, just as an extra.
Nick will call code enforcement on you if you don't.
Okay. Any other discussion about the median enhancement with trees with Quality Landscape? No other discussion. Roll call, please.
Alderman Payne?
Yes.
Alderman Kelly?
Yes.
Alderman Hoots?
Yes.
Alderman Jerome?
Yes.
Alderman Wheeler?
Yes.
That motion carries. Next on our agenda is a resolution for surplus property in the Southaven Police Department.
Yeah, this resolution will just authorize a surplus of vehicle number 3221. It's going to be filed, or it's not going to be filed with insurance due to the fact that the value is not worth it in relation to the deductible. So it'll be surplus in accordance with Mississippi Code 172525, and just need authorization for the mayor to sign the resolution for the surplus.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion by Alderman Hoots, second by Alderman Payne. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, roll call.
Alderman Payne?
Yes.
Alderman Kelly?
Yes.
Alderman Hoots?
Yes.
Alderman Jerome?
Yes.
Alderman Wheeler?
Yes.
That motion carries. Next on the agenda are the approval of two change orders that are being managed by Mr. Dan Cordell with Civil Link. First one is Autumnwood's drainage project, which, as y'all know, is a project we've had in our plans for a long time to correct leaking of an old pipe there between houses there that's caused major problems, and then the Greenbrook and Rasco traffic signal that we recently finished.
Mayor and Board, I usually do a better job of leading in with the deducts first, but today apparently I sent them to Nick in the wrong order. This is an increase that I'm asking for tonight on Autumnwoods in the amount of $84,515.35. It does still keep an $18,000 contingency, but because we're so early in the work, I wanted to keep a little bit in case something, because we're behind people's yards and there's prone to be some things that we have to clean up. But in the process of cleaning the pipe in order to line it, we've discovered about 1,000 feet of aluminized pipe, and that aluminized pipe has to be treated before we can line it, or the liner won't stick with it. So that's what the increase is related to. This is also one of our MCWI projects, so the intent, and we're under the allowed funds on all that, so the intent is to get that reimbursed through our MCWI program as well. So
I'll make the motion to approve it.
I'll second.
We have a motion by Alderman Kelly, second by Alderman Jerome. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, roll call.
Alderman Payne.
Yes.
Alderman Kelly.
Yes.
Alderman who?
Yes.
Alderman Jerome.
Yes.
Alderman Wheeler.
Yes.
That motion carries. The second one is the Greenbrook and Rasco traffic signal.
it's the final summary change order. All the work's been completed, and it just tabulates the work that was either by unit price quantity, what was final measure. So it's a deduct that we're asking for in the amount of $17,629. Board to authorize and approve finalizing that job with the mayor's signature.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
We have a motion by Alderman Payne, second by Alderman Jerome. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, roll call.
Alderman Payne.
Yes.
Alderman Kelly.
Yes.
Alderman who?
Yes.
Alderman Jerome.
Yes.
Alderman Wheeler.
Yes.
That
you.
motion carries. Thank you. Next on our agenda is a police department contract with Case Guard. Mr. Nick Manley again.
Mayor and Board, this contract with Case Guard is for the software that provides redaction for any of those videos that are a public records request that are required to be redacted for videos as part of the body camera footage. So tonight I need authorization for Chief Vickers or his designee to sign the contract with Case Guard. The cost is $4,545 per year, and it will allow for, I guess, more efficient use to have redactions when we have to basically obscure either faces, medicines, or that type of thing when you have public records requests for a video or body camera footage.
I'll make that motion. I'll second.
We have a motion by Alderman Hoots, second by Alderman Jerome. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, roll call.
Alderman Payne.
Yes.
Alderman Kelly.
Yes.
Alderman who?
Yes.
Alderman Jerome.
Yes.
Alderman Wheeler.
Yes.
That motion carries. Next on our agenda is a resolution to clean private property.
Mr. Mayor, I move we adopt a resolution granting authority to clean private property as presented on this date.
Second.
We have a motion by Alderman Payne, second by Alderman Kelly. Is there any discussion among the board? Is there any discussion from anyone who has a financial interest in any of the properties? Anyone in the audience? Hearing or seeing none, roll call please.
Alderman Payne.
Yes.
Alderman Kelly.
Yes.
Alderman who?
Yes.
Alderman Jerome.
Yes.
Alderman Wheeler.
Yes.
That motion carries. Next on our agenda is our planning agenda. Ms. Whitney Cook.
Yes, sir. We only have one item on the agenda, and that is a tabled item from the previous board meeting regarding a conditional use permit at 9210 Airways Boulevard. I think, Nate, do we have to untable it?
Make a motion on table. Second.
We have a motion by Alderman Wheeler, second by Alderman Kelly. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed say no. The item number one is untabled.
So just a quick summary of what was involved in it. It's a 1.96 acre piece of property. You'll see highlighted there in the red on the aerial photo. Is currently zoned light industrial by our ordinance. Light industrial allows for towing and wrecker services via conditional use permit. The applicant did submit the conditional use permit to the Planning Commission for review, and the things that our ordinance allows us to look at are things like negatively affecting character of the neighborhood, looking at fire hazard issues, congestion issues, and things of that nature to allow the approval of the conditional use permit. There's also a footnote involved with that conditional use permit that addresses the amount of vehicles that can be on the property at any one time. No more than 12 at any one time, no more than 3 within view of surrounding properties. It goes over fencing, and it states that they shall only be stored temporarily and no parts shall be removed or salvaged. Planning Commission did review that portion of it, and it was being zoned light industrial, was voted unanimously in favor of by the Planning Commission. If you'll remember last board meeting when we came up here, a concern was brought up about crime, and would this bring negative impact to the area, and that's why it was tabled. So I'm here, and I believe the chief is here for any discussions or any questions you may have regarding the application.
Any fences around that property, it'll be, I read in here where it talks about the requirements for the conditional use. It talks about being solid, so
Yes.
that eliminates a chain link fence, correct?
Yes, it will not allow, we wouldn't allow the chain link fence anyhow.
Okay.
So the property's 500 feet deep. It still has to go through, pending this is approved. If it was approved, it would still have to go through site plan and design review. Obviously, design review would address the fencing, and site-proof fencing can be anything from a wooden fence, which I would not recommend because of just the wear and tear on it. It can be masonry fencing, it can be concrete panels, it can be anything of that nature to be considered site-proof.
Whitney, is the owner aware that any design review that you guys do would probably be much more substantial than the pictures that he had shown us of his other property?
Yes,
Last meeting.
he did send me the same pictures that you got. I have right here.
Right.
And we did talk to him at length in the back. One was to inform him that the property being zoned light industrial still has a lot of other uses that can be placed on that property. But afterwards, I did reach out last Monday via email around 11 o'clock in the morning and kind of itemized out everything that was going to be required. And I did so because I felt like he was on a very different level of detail and investment than what we were going to require. So I did inform him in the email that this would need to be a structurally engineered and architecturally designed building of brick and masonry materials. There would have to be decorative fencing, landscaping, there would have to be decorative lighting, just like we would do in any other area. I have not received a response from him to date. So I did send it out to the email we've been using to go back and forth. I don't know, with no reply, I don't know if that was seen as a deterrent to him or if he just wasn't able to read it, but I have not received any contact.
And he's not here tonight?
No, he's not.
Mayor, do we get a report back from the chief about?
We did. The general report is that area represents 10% of the auto crimes for our entire city, which is 400% of what you would expect in any other area. That's why he expressed concerns, and but he's available if there's any other detailed police questions.
Do you have a recommendation on this?
Well, first, my recommendation would be to let he and Whitney talk again, because when he understands what is going to be expected of him in the planning review, that could, change his decision whether he wants to go there. The pictures that he presented, that can't happen in Southaven. So what he's done in other places, he's not going to be able to do that here, which is going to be much more costly for him. And so my recommendation would be to table it again and let he and Whitney talk more before any final decision is made. But we wanted to bring it back up to update y'all with the information that we told you we would have for you. And Chief, am I saying that correctly? Is that correct?
Yes, sir. So that 1 mile area represents 10% of all the property crime that occurs in the city, which is 4 times the rate that property crime occurs anywhere else in the city. And so that's where we're at on that.
And just for the people viewing and everybody else's knowledge, obviously we do have some unique circumstances with the Tennessee-Mississippi state line, but that's a common thing in industrial areas when you have vehicles that are parked for extended periods of time. And these industrial areas run 3 shifts, so they have employees there nonstop. So it's just a numbers game. When you have cars parked more, you're going to have more auto crime. So it's not, casting judgment on industrial developments. All industrial developments face that challenge, and the reason that they were approved at some point is the benefits outweigh the negatives. This just happens to be one of the negatives. The contrast to an industrial development and a tow yard are much different. I mean, an industrial development brings significant revenue, whereas tow yard, the benefits are going to be outweighed by the negatives at the way it looks at this point. Same thing with retail. I mean, you're going to have anytime you have retail, you're going to have shoplifting and you're going to have vehicle break-ins. It just comes with the territory. You have vehicles parked for a long period of time. Some questions came up regarding my comments at the last meeting. That's the reason I'm explaining to people that, again, we're not casting judgment on our industrial areas. That's just those are just facts that come with industrial and retail. But long way to tell you, my recommendation is to let Whitney and the gentleman connect and talk more about it before we make a decision as a city.
I'll make that motion. We table it.
Okay.
I'm fine with that.
Second.
Thank you, Chief. We have a motion to table again by Alderman Hoots, second by Alderman Wheeler. Is there any final discussion? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Alderman Payne.
Yes.
Alderman Kelly.
Yes.
Alderman Hoots.
Yes.
Alderman Jones.
Yes.
Yes.
That motion carries. Thank you. Okay, next on our agenda is our mayor's report. Just several things to general updates about ongoing projects. We haven't talked, I don't think I've given an update lately about our parks enhancement plan. Y'all know the deal. Every 4 years, we have to have our tourism revenue extended by a legislative bill. And so that was done in 2022. So we have that funding from 22 to 26. So the plan that we talked about after we got the funding in 22, these are the projects that we talked about, and here's the status of those. So the neighborhood park project was the first thing that we started. It's awesome. It's beautiful. So many pavilions, new walking trails. The people are eating it up. They're all over them. We're almost done. We got a few little things to wrap up, so we're almost done with that entire project. Again, that affected about, I think, total with something going on, 10 or 11 parks. Tennis expansion, adding 8 new outdoor tennis courts at the tennis center. Construction is underway. We expect that to be done in late spring, early summer. Snowden and Greenbrook parking lots have been done. They look beautiful. They're awesome. They're much needed. Both of those were completed a couple of weeks ago. Some of the striping is still pending, but almost wrapped up. Snowden video board, that's coming up on the agenda, I think, later. Did we already do it?
I'm doing a report.
Okay, it's going to come up a little bit later. That's the board that we took the old board down again when the pedestrian bridge was put up because it blocked the sign. But not just for that reason. The sign was aging. The cost of maintenance on it was very high. So a few months back, the board approved doing a new video board. So that will be underway soon. We're asking to award the bid tonight. Bike track, skate park at Cherry Valley. We're nearing getting the bidding process on that. So we have to hope to have that project under construction either late this year or early part of next year. Then the only other thing pending, and we'll wait, as y'all know, we've been waiting and paying cash. We didn't do a bond on this. We're just paying as we go. So we'll probably wait and see how we're in good shape funding right now, but we'll evaluate that next year before we start the LED lighting conversion at Snowden Grove. We do have plans long-term to do Greenbrook the same way. The reason Snowden is in front of that is having more problems at Snowden. They're costly repairs trying to match the old system, so it will save the city a lot of money. Obviously, your maintenance goes way down with LED, so it's going to be a good project for the city. And so that's all in the parks enhancement. Other things that are pending, everybody wants to talk about Getwell widening. almost done. The rain did set us back a little bit, but they're working to catch up. So we expect to have all lanes on Getwell open. So the barrels will be moved at the end of this week, hopefully, have all lanes open. They'll be doing some other, supplemental work at the east-west tie-ins. And then the striping, permanent striping will be done by the end of next week. Sweeney and Church widening project. Y'all know that we're widening, putting a right turn lane on the northbound lane of Star Landing to help traffic flow better there. That has been done. We're just waiting on the paving contractors. They're scheduled to finish that next week as well. Next week we'll also start we're trying to get a head start on our street resurfacing plan. A lot of times we get those done in the spring. But I love to get them going in October. The best month, the weather is always the best for paving streets in October. So we have pressed and pressed. So they've told us that they're going to start on our list next week. So that's good news. Sweeney dips. Anybody know what I'm talking about when I say the dips on Sweeney?
Yes.
And so the dips have been driving me nuts for a bunch of years now. To make a long story really short, when Sweeney was extended, it used to dead end right there at Highland Grove subdivision. And when it was extended southbound to Church Road, there was a lot of moving parts with that project. A lot of different hands touched that. The county was paying part of that, city paying part of it. We had a total change in administration in 2013 in the middle of that project. There were some errors made with the engineers and the contractor on how long they were supposed to let the subsurface sit before they paved it. And so around some of the culverts, since it didn't set up long enough, it caused the soft spots in the road. And so they've been there, and again, like I said, it's driving me nuts. I know it drives our citizens nuts, so we're going to fix that. So we're expecting to have the contractors out there the third week in October to start that project. And then last thing tonight, we did get the Jerry Street Park sign installed. Very special thing, made a lot of our citizens very happy. That was such a tragic accident in 1986. It affected so many people in our city, not just the families of the students who lost their lives after the prom, but Jerry Street was one of the students killed in that accident, and he was a big part of the church softball scene back when that park was one of the most common places to play church softball. So anyway, brought back some, not the tragedy so much, but brought back some good memories for the family and friends. So again, I thank the board for supporting that request to rename that park. And that's all that I have this evening. Next on our agenda is our personnel docket.
Mr. Mayor, I move we approve the personnel docket as presented on the state.
Second.
We have a motion by Alderman Payne, second by Alderman Hoots. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Alderman Payne.
Yes.
Alderman Kelly.
Yes.
Alderman Hoots.
Yes.
Alderman Jerome.
Yes.
Alderman Wheeler.
Yes.
That motion carries. Next on our agenda is our city attorney's legal update.
Mayor and Board, I got a couple of quick items. First item is, as the mayor mentioned earlier, this came in yesterday, is the award of the bid for the Snowden Grove electronic message sign. The low bid was from Grinder, Tabor and Grinder. That was in the amount of $421,918. That has been reviewed and certified by Civil Link. So now I need authorization for to award Grinder, Tabor and Grinder Inc. a contract and authorize the mayor and or his designee to sign in all contract documents for the Snowden Grove electronic message sign.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
We have a motion by Alderman Wheeler, second by Alderman Jerome. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, roll call.
Alderman Payne.
Yes.
Alderman Kelly.
Yes.
Alderman Hoots.
Yes.
Alderman Jerome.
Yes.
Alderman Wheeler.
Yes.
That motion carries.
The next item is a supplemental proposal for Schindler Elevator. This came in as well yesterday. It is Dylan had brought this to my attention, and it's a reduction in the contract amount to $9,066.80. So it is a deduct on a yearly contract basis to eliminate some of the services that are not needed for the elevators at this point, as Dylan can handle. those, and it's for the elevator maintenance contract. So tonight I need authorization for Dylan Brink to sign the contract with Schindler Elevator Corporation in the amount of $9,066.80.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
We have a motion by Alderman Kelly, second by Alderman Payne. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed say no. Ayes have it, motion carries.
And then last thing, it's no action required, just entering the contracts for the Teddy Swims and Thomas Rhett shows for next year. Those have been signed and completed, so those will be entered into our minutes for tonight's meeting. You already authorized signatures, so just entering those into the minutes, and that's all I have.
Thank you. Next on our agenda is our utilities billing leak adjustment docket.
Mr. Mayor, I move we approve the utility bill leak adjustment docket as presented.
I'll second.
We have a motion by Alderman Payne, second by Alderman Jerome. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, roll call.
Alderman Payne.
Yes.
Alderman Kelly.
Yes.
Alderman who?
Yes.
Alderman Jerome.
Yes.
Alderman Wheeler.
Yes.
And that motion carries. Next on our agenda is one claims docket.
Mr. Mayor, I move we approve the claims docket in the amount of $4,211,237.66, including demand checks.
Second.
We have a motion by Alderman Payne, second by Alderman Hoots. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, excuse me, hearing none, roll call.
Alderman Payne.
Yes.
Alderman Kelly.
Yes.
Alderman who?
Yes.
Alderman Jerome.
Yes.
Alderman Wheeler.
Yes.
That motion carries. Next on our agenda is the purpose of determining the need for executive session.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion by Alderman Payne, second by Alderman Jerome. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed say no. Ayes have it, motion carries. The needs this evening are public works personnel, claims and litigation against our police and public works departments, land acquisition for utilities relocation, economic development within the city, and interdepartmental personnel with no action. Is there a motion to declare executive session?
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion by Alderman Jerome, second by Alderman Payne. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed say no. Ayes have it, motion carries. The mayor and board will now enter executive session.